Hostile contacts.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Banjo here, bringing you another Division 2 build. Today we are going to be working with my favorite skill build. So we're going to start with the Demolition class, because we want the artillery skill down here for the turret. So getting into our primary weapons, doesn't matter which weapon you use here, it could be anything, as long as it has the talent in sync, because it's going to be hitting an enemy grants 15% skill damage for 5 seconds. Now this one's God roll, that's why I chose this one, and I just put the skill on it. So then with the mods, we're going critical hit chance, an additional 20 rounds, critical hit chance, and critical hit damage. Now the main weapon that we are going to be using on this build could be a little bit better with the damage output, but it is the mechanical animal, because it gives us that future perfection. Weapon kills grant 1+ skill tier for 19 seconds, and that stacks up 3 times. So with weapon kills, if you're already at tier 6, which we are on this build, it's going to grant us overcharge for 15 seconds, which is fantastic. The overcharge just helps your skills come back faster, helps them hit harder, everything. Gives them more health, duration, it just helps out so much on this build. So with the mods, we're going critical hit chance, critical hit chance, critical hit chance, and additional 10 rounds. So then let's get to the main pieces of this build. With the mask, it will be our first set of the Empress International, which, because it gives us 10% skill health, you want core attribute with skill tier, and then you want status effect, skill damage, and skill haste. These are the 3 that we're going to be working with on this build. So as long as you have these 3 in any order, it does not matter. For the second piece of this build, the most important part will be the Empress International chest piece, because it gives us 10% skill damage. We want skill tier here, skill damage, status effect, skill haste. Now the biggest part of this is it gives us kinetic momentum. Alright, so with the kinetic momentum, when you hit a target, boom, it creates this stack, which gives us 1% skill damage and total repair by 2% up to 15 times. So you can get an extra 15% skill damage and an extra 30% skill repair. Alright, now it is lost when cooldowns are on, so just keep that in mind. So for the holster, we're going with the waveform. The exotic waveform gives us skill damage, skill haste, but it gives us an extra talent, which is why I like to use this one instead of another brand set. The alternating current generates a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second, capping at 10 stacks. So that's an extra 30% skill damage. After 10 seconds, the cap transfers to your other skill. Now both of our skills are doing damage, so at any point in time we're doing additional damage no matter what, as long as our skills are active. So that's why we want that. For the backpack, we're going with the strategic alignment. It is the China Light Industry, because it gives us 15% explosive damage, which will help with our turret. You want the skill tier for the cure attribute. Now the status effect could be better on this, but I had reroll skill damage because it was a blue or a red. I couldn't remember which one. So this one could be a little bit better, but it still does the job. It still hits hard. It is perfect. Perfect shock and all. Apply status effect to any enemy. Increase total skill damage and repair by 20% for 27 seconds. So with our turret, it's going to apply the bleed effect. So that it just, every time we do it, 20% skill damage. So it's just loading up our skill damage, which is just fantastic. Then we're going to get into our gloves. We have the Wyvern wear because it gives us an extra 10% skill damage. We have the core skill tier here. And then we want repair or skill damage. Could be status effect. Could be skill haste. But I had to reroll skill damage. So this is what we're stuck with on this piece. God rolled set of our third piece of the Empress International. It gives us 10% skill efficiency. Have that 1+ skill tier, and we have skill haste and skill damage maxed out. So we got into our gear set. Let's get into the skills. For the skill, you want the striker drone because it's going to give us that connection, that momentum connection from our chest piece every time it hits somebody. So that's going to be constantly. You don't even have to use your guns really. If you just want to pop a shot every 15 seconds to get your insync to pop up, you can make that happen. The only difference is you won't get that extra overcharge with kills from the future perfection here, but it all works out. So with we have this, it gives us an extra 20%, 120% striker damage, and an extra 420% health. Now, because it's going to be overcharged, it's going to hit even harder. Now, the bread and butter of this build is the artillery turret. This is going to cause so much damage, as you're going to see later on in the video. We're going to be hitting enemies for like 5 mil plus with this. And it's just outstanding. It's amazing, and I really love it. If I'm just feeling lazy and just want to clear out control points, this is the build that I just throw on because I don't really have to do nothing. My skills do everything. The new directives, with the skill directives, you have to pick up the skill things to refresh your skills. So the skill haste doesn't really matter on this as much, but if you take it off, your skills are going to come back rapidly fast. I use it just for the extra experience during the worlds, but if I do put it on, it's mostly just on like my DPS builds or stuff like that. Usually I take it off for these builds just so that I could just sit back and let my skills do everything. They're constantly coming back. I want to say this one comes back every 11 to 12 seconds, and the other one, and my drone comes back every 15 to 14 seconds. So, I mean, you're constantly having skills. This build in action.
Reinforcements in route.